Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. Let's start. For YouTube videos, YouTube viewers who will be watching this, again, if you're seeing it for the first time, this is a month and a half of, or about a month of free videos that I'm doing. If you want to know more about it, watch the past ones and you will see me saying what we are, what the group is. But at the end of this 2 weeks, that is going to end next week more, at the end of next week, I will publish 2 videos. Maybe at the end of this week, I'll publish one, and then at the end of next week. One will be on money management, and one will be telling you about the group again. I think I told it once, but I'll tell you about the group again. This time I'll tell you in a more detailed manner. You'll probably get to see some snapshots of what we do in the group, right? So if you're interested in it, look out for that video, right? Thank you. Take care. Let's go. Dollar index. Dollar index is still going up. We have a small flag here, or small correction. You can see that we're breaking the top. So I think we're going to continue to go up some more. Again, we cannot confirm this as the impulse to the upside. Let me stress this again. And don't let yourself be fooled by breaking and that because it's going up that you're going to go to heaven. I will show you the euro and remind you when I come in the euro, where people who do not understand wave analysis mistake that to be, oh, well, we're going down big time. And that was just a daily correction. And they got themselves in a lot of trouble. So what we're going to do, we're going to trade it. We keep trading it. As long as it's going, we keep trading it. This could be a slow climb before it falls, or this could be part of a bigger running flat. Which one? We will know. Every trade you take here, we don't trade the dollar index. Some people trade, but I don't trade the dollar. We trade the other pairs that we are confident of. And one of them we're buying like crazy is the yen. So it's not moving very fast. So sometimes you may have to take break even. If you want to keep it, that's okay. If you want to close it and re-enter again, that's even a better choice. So I'll show you some of the trades we took in the yen. And the Swiss also is one we watch very clearly. And the New Zealand, and quite a lot of them that we're watching very carefully, like the pound and all of that. So this is going, be careful when they get to the top of divergence. Just be careful. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but that doesn't mean you don't buy it. You just have to be careful when you have that divergence. Divergence is either a bigger correction or a turning point. Silver dropped yesterday video. I told you that there's a good chance silver will start a big consolidation here. It didn't break this top. That means I'm expecting this to go back up here. And if that happens, we'll be looking for a sell setup. It doesn't mean we will get the sell setup. Remember, I warned you about buying it. I said, if you really wanted it, just be careful. But we're not intending on buying silver. We're intending on selling silver. And the reason we want to sell silver is because this, let me see if I can bring it down. I'm expecting it to make either it drops a little more or so, but I'm expecting a deep correction and then one more drop before we go back up. If this happened, this would confirm a pattern we know, a running flat pattern. And that means you're going to make a new high. Now, it will be a very rare case where this was the correction, this was the end of the structure, and this one is going to go down totally. That's rare. It's possible, but it's rare. Why it's rare? Because we normally don't get that structure, the impulse looking like that. So this is the key that most likely is going to be a running flat. All these are details you guys might not know. So what you're looking for is a correction and sell. What if we're wrong about this being a running flat and it keeps falling? Well, we're in the sell. You're on the right side of the trade. So if it keeps falling, well, good for us. We'll just stay with it or we'll keep making more trades. Let's get the correction. That's what we're waiting for. And I think we might end up with a 4-hour correction because I'll be careful of the very small corrections. If you sold, and there were sell setups here, there was a sell setup on the break of this. If you sold, you may want to put it to break even because there's a good chance that we are going to go back up, break this top, and then that becomes a perfect sell setup. If that happens, that makes a perfect sell setup. If they consolidate here again, what if they consolidate? When they're going so slow and consolidating, you have to be careful. You're going to make a long, drawn-out running flat. So you can sell, but you have to always either take profit or move stops because they can still do this and drop. And it's not like you haven't seen a pattern like that. Right? So which of those is going to make is not important to us. It will make it, we will see, and we'll know how to trade it, but we can still trade as it stands. Right now, I'm not selling it as yet. I want to see more consolidation before I get into the sell. Gold could have been the same thing. You could have sold gold. See, there's an entry order to sell gold here, as a matter of fact, because we looked at gold as one that might go down, right? That the gold had a higher probability of dropping. So that was a sell setup for the gold. If you're in the sell, also put it to break even. Put it to break even. Gold already had this piece here. It's above this one, but it doesn't make a difference. You have to be under it, right? So gold can go. Again, we broke the top. There was a correction here. I don't think this was an impulsive move to the upside. So I'm more inclined to believe that we're making a 1, 2, 3. And there's a high probability for us to come back and retest this top before it drops. The probability for that to happen is very high. So if you're in the sell and there was a sell set up here, if you sold it, make sure you're moving your stops to take profit. Because if you don't, you might watch this reverse to you. If it does reverse and make a flag, we will buy. If it consolidates here, you will get another sell setup. So let's see which one it gives us. Euro, it's going down some more, but again, because of this pattern, we're not selling euro, we're selling other pairs, or we're buying other pairs. Euro could go. I don't, every time it makes this, it becomes a flat. You can expect one more down. It makes another one, it becomes a flat. You can expect one more down. If you get a perfect sell setup, you can take the trade. You just have to make sure when it makes one impulse, you take out your profit. As soon as the impulse drops and stop, you take out your profit because it's going to pull back. You see, if you sold this, when that pull back, you either get break even or you manage to take out your profit here. If you sold it, well, there's no sell setup here. But if you try to sell here, you're back at break even. See, so it might look like it's moving, but trading it is almost impossible. Right? If you're trading with rules, of course. Pound, we sold the pound there. Like I told you, I ended up getting break even out of it. I closed mine eventually because my traders had break even. There was another sell setup here. This one was not such a good sell setup because it's a contracting flat you're looking at. You're looking at this piece here for a contracting flat at the top there. We didn't break the top. Come on. But this can fall quite a lot. So that's a contracting flat. Contracting flats have a tendency of becoming running flats. So if this makes a sharp move up back like that, this will give us a perfect sell setup. Now we will get, those of us who are not in the sell, we get. If my traders were in the Asian session, they probably are in this one. I wasn't in the Asian session this morning. They probably are in this trade. We'll check with them that this could have been a sell in that flag. And I think they saw that. So if they saw it, they should have taken it. What we're looking at is not going as fast as we expect it to go, but it's going down, which means every flag it makes from now on, or every correction that is tradable, we will trade. Right? Remember, we were not buying. Go back to when I started on the 18th, these webinars. We're not buying. And if you try to buy any of those 18, you'll be in trouble. We're looking for sell setups. And I still think it's going to go more. I still think this has a big move to the downside. So there's still a lot more sell setups to come. I think we could get a sell setup today. Either they spike up and we get it, or they make a flag and we get it. So a sell setup will probably be there today. Aussie dropped, it's going back. If you took the buy, I took off my entry order last night. And I wasn't in the Asian session. If you guys took it, I hope you take the break even out of it. This could qualify for the running flat. We will look for the sell setup today. We were trying to get that if it was going to make a sharp spike, take out the profit because we expect it to go back down. If you remember, watch yesterday's webinar. I tell you we were expecting it to make a running flat and then drop. As it goes there, that qualifies for the running flat. I'll take it from this point, not from the top. There's a reason for that, but you can take it from the top if you want. It wouldn't make a big difference in the pattern. So this could be the running flat, and which means this is a sell setup right now we're getting. It's a bit small for now, but it's a sell setup. So I would let it consolidate a couple more hours, and then I'll be looking for a sell here. That is what I would do. I'm not making a trade call for anyone. That is what I would do, especially if I get the consolidation there with the flag to confirm that sell. I would go for that sell because I'm looking at that as a pattern that has to go down. See? And when it makes a new low, I will take the profit because the entire structure so far is not confirming downside. It's still confirming, looking like it's a big correction, right? This thing still looks, see it come back here, it looks like a big correction. They could go back all the way back to the top. So when we get this trade, it breaks the low. Again, it breaks the low. Then we will start to move our stop and take profit. Why breaking the low is important? Ask the people who know wave analysis. Those who don't know it will tell you that's not important. I don't know why breaking tops and bottoms are important because they don't have a clue. They may know a few things, but they don't have a clue. When you understand wave analysis, you understand the importance of breaking top and bottom because they tell you what pattern you're looking at. It confirms your patterns when you're looking at them, right? So I said this will not break the top because we're looking for running flat. So let's go. New Zealand. New Zealand, we sold. We took it off for break even. It stayed there for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. Didn't go. That should drop immediately. If it doesn't drop immediately, we're out of it. And it makes a bigger flat here. We did break that top. So if you look at this as a 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3, there's a good chance that this is a 1, 2, 3. We did break the top. There's a reason I'm keeping that top there to make sure if this is a correction, the impulse will have to break the top. Did I say break the top? Just to make sure that some people will learn some things. If we get this, we're selling. So if we get a flag there today, we're looking for a sell. I like the Aussie more than the New Zealand because the New Zealand is still in a big sideways move. You've got this sharp wave here. I'll tell you this sharp wave here that didn't break the low. Is that part of a contracting flat? If that is a contracting flat, this could actually stop right here and go right back up. If it is not a contracting flat, then we're going to make a more complex pattern because this becomes an impulse. This would be a correction. You would make another impulse, go back up there, come back down here, and then go. So which of those two options is going to happen? We will see. They're both tradable once you get the setup to trade them. Swiss, still going up. It's kind of going up. We're in the daily. Let's put it in the daily so you can see. We broke out of this pattern here, this consolidation, which actually ends here. We thought this was a slow climb. That was a little tricky first, but then it's going. What you're watching now, you watch this one here. All right, we're watching this one. Why are we watching that? Because this could be a running flat and it could drop. That's one. Now, once that running flat is negated, when it tells us that doesn't belong to that and this one is its own flat, if it tells us that is the flat, that this is trying to go up, then we would watch this one, this bigger one. These sharp waves are important. They need to have a confirm wave with it. So we would watch this, which would bring it back up to about the top. And when we get there, if this is the running flat, we're going to drop again. What if that's not the running flat? What if this belongs to something else? We don't have anything for that as yet. But what if it is? Then we will continue to go up. But I don't see that. I think most likely this is the one we're watching. So come back to the 1 hour. Every flag you get, you can buy. Right? When there will be a deeper correction, I think there's a deeper, because you're getting some divergence already. So very soon this will give you a deeper correction. Not as deep as this. I don't think it's going to be as deep as this, but it might be like this. So very soon with this type of pattern, you might get a drop like this, something like this, and then go. So expect that, because starting to get some divergence. That doesn't mean you don't trade. I don't know how long it will take before it happens. This can keep pushing. You got a small flag. Got a curry. They could push. They could make a small one, push, make a small one, push, and then you get that bigger correction before you go. So you can still buy these as you go along. Buy them, take off the profit. Buy, take off the profit, which is what most of my traders are doing in the yen. So we're buying the yen, we're taking off profit until we get a deeper correction. So yesterday we bought here. We closed that for break even because it didn't go. I bought this morning. We are in that trade this morning. It's at the top. Let's see what happens. If this looks like it's going to come back here, I think there's a high probability for this to come back here. We will close the trade somewhere here. We might even get a sell set up on the way down and then look for the buy. So what you're looking at is what happens at the top here. If this starts to go down, see this piece, it dropped and it pulled back. If they drop here and pull back, we'll close the trade and we'll look for a sell setup back to this level and then the upside. Whether or not we take the sell is a question, because you don't want to go against the trend. You want to go with the trend. So you want to let it drop and then look for the buy setup. So if this continues to go, good for us. But I think it will drop because there are many reasons for that. The way patterns develop, there's a very high probability for this to come back here and then go. CAD. Okay. So CAD, we were looking for a sell. If my traders sold it, they closed it. We're making a bigger correction. I think we're making a bigger correction here. This whole piece is just making, come on. That was my drawing tool. Okay, this happens once in a while. Give me a second. Let me see if I have it. No, I'll have to go look for it. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is making some kind of a bigger consolidation here. I don't think we're going up as yet. I think we're making a bigger consolidation. And that means that we might drop here. But if they make a big consolidation and drop, we will be in a bit of trouble. Because that means that this pattern could be much longer drawn out than I think. We were looking for a simple pattern, which is a 1, 2, 3, something like a 1, a 2, and just drop here for a 3 and go back up. Could it be that this is a contracting flat and we're going up from this point? No. Could be, but I don't see the setup for a buy is that. I wouldn't be buying in this thing when it's doing this. Let's see how this plays out. Wait for it, and then we will. If there's a good setup for buy, we'll go. I think most likely we're looking for a sell, and then the buy. Aussie Swiss went up. That was a buy for us yesterday. If you wanted to buy here or you wanted to buy here, but once it breaks this top, you got to be careful because we're looking at this as a running flag pattern. 1, 2, 3, and that means that the high probability for it to come back down. Now, from which point would it come back down? Within this structure, no clue. Watch the top. They can come all the way back to this top and then go down. Right? Let's put this here. This would be the correction within that move down. So it could crawl its way up here and then drop. But you have to be aware that with that pattern, the high probability is that it's going to go down. If you're in the trade, what that means for you don't come out of the trade. You just move your stops. You protect your capital. That's the number one thing you're trying to do, right? Protect your capital in the trade. Aussie yen, this is a buy. Some of us took this buy. You probably closed it for break even because on that pullback. If that is the case, then look for another buy setup because we have to break this top. Very likely it's going to break that top. So you might see it climb again. If it climbs so slow that you can't get a proper trade, it's not moving fast enough. It moved quite a lot. So you probably might have closed earlier, or if you had it at break even and you got taken out, look for another entry. We will check that in the trading room today and look for another entry. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD is a good one. It's a very good buy. Sorry. Remember what I said when we bought this? If it comes back to the low, we buy again. If you bought this or you bought this, you probably buy this here today. We're looking for this buy. And hopefully this one goes to the top. Can it come back to the low again? Possible. If it does that, we'll buy from the low again. We're not interested in a sell. We buy. If we get a sell setup, we'll take it. But there wasn't a sell setup here. But we can buy this today and then we'll see what happens. It's consolidating. So that is a good buy. Aussie, New Zealand. Oh, finally, you might be going up somewhat. You do have a buy setup here, guys. This is an expanding flat, and we're even getting a flag here. So an entry above the flag, if this takes off, would be a good trade. Right? That could be, if it is going to drop, sell. This could be a small correction for a drop, by the way. This here could be a small correction for a drop. If it drops, you sell on. We will sell under here. Right? That is a sell setup there, but it could be because of the big move that it came down with. The chances are they're going to correct this much deeper, not just that little correction. But if it's a little flag that is going to drop, you can sell, take profit. Once it drop and stop, take profit. Don't keep it. It's not a long-term trade as yet. Euro yen kind of dropped to where we want. We were expecting it to go back up now. Let's see if that happens. You can track the euro yen went from this point where I was showing you. It has to go up, come back down, and then go. If we get a buy setup here today, this would be amazing. Let's see. No, we don't. There isn't a buy setup. As a matter of fact, it looks like it could drop one more. Let it drop. If it drops one more, no problem. Once we get a buy setup, we'll take the trade. We'll look for the buy setup to the upside. Euro Swiss. So Euro Swiss, we sold this yesterday. Some of my traders sold from here, so they might be off a break even. I'm still in the trade. Let's see what happens. If this is going to go back up, we'll take a loss in it. I'm still in it. I'll keep it. If it comes back here and don't go, if they come back here and decide to go back up, I'll take the break even. This would be a flat for upside. All right, I'll take the break even in that case. I don't see them going up from this point. The reason is because we were looking at this pattern and we actually anticipated that this is going to go back up because we were looking at this flat. But I didn't think they were going to break out and go. I thought they would go back up from here and then fall. So I told my trader to, one of them sold from here. I said, well, you want to be careful. They can go back up. We have the stops here. So he said, that's okay. We saw. He saw the pattern. He knows what's going on. It actually came down, make an expanding flat in the middle. Tag me in the trade and then go back up. I didn't see it. If I saw it, I would have closed the trade here. Right? If I saw it and it's not going, I would have closed the trade. No problem. We have a stop here to protect your capital. And then if this doesn't go, expect this to come back here most likely before they go back up, because that would be a big flat. If they drop through, we'll stay with it because we're expecting it to come back to this level. Let me show you the bigger structure. The biggest structure is this, and we're expecting this to at least come back to this level here, right? Sometimes they do make that correction and then they drop. So let's see if this doesn't go, we'll close the trade here. If it comes back to this level, looks like it's going to go back up for a flat. We'll close the trade for positive. So two options: wait for it to come back and close it positive, or if it goes up, you can decide to close it anytime. I'll just leave the stop. It's not a big deal. Euro Oz for now. If it consolidates a lot in the middle, I'll close it. Euro Oz, there was a sell here. Sell set up there. This is going good. If you sold here, it's going good. Even the pullback shouldn't have taken you out, or you can still keep it. The pullback didn't get a correction to close it. And it's going now. We don't have any sell set up now. We'll have to wait for another flag like this to sell. Let's go. Euro New Zealand. We're getting a flag now for the sell. We're getting a correction here now for the sell. Now we're getting a correction. So if this breaks out, this could be a trade to the downside. We know it's going to come a little more. I think I showed you this where we think it's going to go before it goes back up, right? So this could go back up anytime. Just make sure if you're in the trade, you're moving your stops with it. EuroCAD. EuroCAD looks downside. Let's see where we're going in the bigger picture. No, it's not a trade because once they break this low, it looks like they can go back up, right? See what they're doing? We're pretty much in this pattern, kind of going down, up, come back here. They could come here and go back up. So I don't see a long-term sell setup in that. Euro pound, we're looking for a buy setup. Okay, so this is interesting because exactly what we expected to do is come back to the low. They didn't break the low, but if they don't break the low, there's a high probability they'll come back and break the low. Excuse me, sorry. So let's see. We didn't break the low, so there's a high probability that this trade is going to drop, break the low, and then reverse. So if you're in this trade, if you're in the buying that trade, get it to break even. And if you guys got in the buy and the breakout here, get that to break even. We would wait for, this is, the line itself is not that important. We would wait for it to break out, make a correction, confirm upside. That would be the safe to trade right now because we did not break this low. That's important. Not breaking the low means they can come back, break the low. You're looking at a bigger flat in the formation. Let's see which one it gives us. If not correct, I wouldn't be surprised they drop, break the low, and then we will get the buy setup. It's still going to give you the buy eventually. Pangos, downside, good. Just wait for setup and trade. There were flags. Was there a flag here? And there was a small one here. If you get any more correction or flag, we're going to get into the trade. Is Pangos trying to get to the top here? It could be. If we look at this as an expanding flag, which means if this starts to go back up, we will buy it to this top. The whole big pattern will be a big expanding flat. So you don't want to, if you're in the trade and the sell, you want to move your stop to positive. Because the only thing would be for the next sell is if they consolidate and give you a flag, then we will sell. All right? It's a chance they could reverse, then go back here, and this becomes a big expanding flat. So wait for the flag before you sell. The flag is very important now. Pang Yen. Great. So we took the sell. All sell setups we would take. It didn't go well. It went back. We were in profit. It went back. It came then back. I closed mine because I was going to sleep and I didn't want to keep it since it's not a big impulse straight to the downside as yet. Closed it for positive. I don't know if my traders stayed with it. If they stayed with it, some people got break even. Some people might stay with it. If you stay with it, you want to move your stop very tight to close it because it's not going the way we expect it to go as yet. All right. So if the down move has started, it's still very far, right? This is another small flag. This looks like it can go back up. This one looks like it can go back up here. And if they start to drop again, we'll sell. Right? If they're going to start the downside like this, if the downside is starting with a slow move, Swiss did that, right? Right? Kind of do this and drop. So we will look for sell setups again. Is it a buy setup? Could we get a big buy going up? I mean, a breakout of this structure and go up like that? It's possible. When you're above the daily structure, that is possible. So let's go back to the daily structure, the daily one. We broke out. So what you want to see when you break out of a daily structure like that is a consolidation to confirm it. That's not enough of a consolidation. If you get a trade, there's going to be one more move to the upside. So I'll be very, very careful. For the buy, it has to break out. I would allow it to break out. I'd allow it to make a flag and confirm the buy setup. Without that, you can get yourself in trouble. So we'll look for sell setups today. If this consolidates here, we will sell it. If it goes back up, we'll sell it because I'm looking for a running flat here. I'm looking for a small running flat at this level, and that means drop again. If they make a flag, we will sell it, put it to break even, and see how far it goes. Because you could get a series of running flat in here. Depends on how you combine them. Pound New Zealand. Okay, this drop, we never got anything for that. So I don't know if we're going to go with the contracting flat or whether we're going to go with this one. We'll figure that out. But any sell setup we get, we'll take it now. Right? If we get another correction today, we'll take it. Because once they come here, they can either break out or go back up. There is a high probability for them to go back up. Right? They can come here and make a new high again. It's still within this corrective structure. Right? So when they come here, they can always go back up one more and then drop. But let's see if we get sell set up here, we'll take the trade. Pound Swiss. There is a sell setup, but yesterday I warned that this might not go. This would be just more of a flat pattern here. It can come a little more here and then go back, make a new high. As a matter of fact, if this happens, we will look for the buy setup. We'll look for the buy on that one because we broke the structure, the top. We're making consolidation. That is confirming another impulse up. Punkat. Good sell. I closed mine because I was going to sleep and it was starting to pull back. This was starting to pull back. So I closed mine somewhere here. Take that off. I'm waiting for another correction. And then we'll sell again. Why did I close it? If I think it's long-term, why did I? Remember I showed you guys, go back. I think it's yesterday or the day before. I showed you this pattern. And I said there's a high probability they can actually do that and go back one more up. And that is the reason I closed the trade. Took a small profit off. Well, not the profit I'm looking for, but a good profit there. And let's see what happens now. They can still make one more impulse, break that top. Right? We're still expecting them to go break the top. So that means I still think that this could go here, break the top, and then come down. And that is why I closed it. Because over the night when I'm sleeping, I wouldn't be able to manage it. It was a break even, so I shouldn't have been worried very much too. But it didn't go very far. So today we will watch it and see what it does. Makes a flag. If we get a flag here today, we'll sell again. We don't have anything right now, but if we get a flag, we'll sell. New Zealand yen. Yeah, I'm sorry, New Zealand Swiss. New Zealand yen. That's all I was looking at the Swiss. There's a buy setup here. You can see it very clearly. It has a yen in it. You probably want to go for this trade. This has a yen, so this could be a trade to the upside, like this one. So, like this one. And you look at that. So there's an impulse there coming. That's a good trade. Very nice. Contracting flat, but this was a contracting flat as well. So we can take the trade. New Zealand Swiss also making a flat here. You can go with this. This actually broke out, came back down, so this could still go. This might be a smaller one of its own here. There's a buy setup there. And New Zealand CAD. So New Zealand CAD, let's see what we have. It's kind of consolidating here. I'm not sure. We wait some more on this consolidation. It looks upside, which means this would be a running flat. We look at this as some kind of a running flat if that goes up. But let's wait and see because we've got this only. This is a correction up. That is a correction up. We'll go with this as a small running flat. And this could be correction going up slowly. So let's wait and see if we get any buy set. Not the best one, by the way. Canadian. No trade there as yet. It might go up a little more. Looks like this is making some kind of a flag that will go up a little more, but I don't think it's going to go very far, so we wait. Cat Swiss, they're in the long-term trade in that. Cat Swiss break the top, come back down. If this breaks the top, it's coming back down, right? So this would go up here, break that top, and then we're going to come back down. See this whole structure is downside, right? So it breaks the top, we'll start look for. Remember, one of my traders sold it from here. So if it breaks the top, we'll look for that sell again. Let's go Swiss yen. Okay, we're looking for a sell. Let's go in the 1 hour. You can take that off a break even. Put an entry here. We're still looking for the sell. If they keep going like that, we'll just stop trading. We'll wait for a deeper correction and then start selling. This one looks like it's going to give you one more up first before it comes down, but we don't have a buy setup as yet. US oil, it's still going. So if you put the entry order in here, we still have to figure out this piece, which we haven't. So if you had your entry order there, you take profit. You can put another entry order there. It does that, take profit, because at any point in time it could drop. So don't keep it for longer term. Take the profit off. It makes an impulse, take the profit off, because you're not sure what point you'll get a very sharp move down and then continue to go. UK oil is the same thing, right? So if it gives you another flag here, put an entry, take profit. Don't keep it. Once it starts to pull back, you close the trade, you wait for the next one. You really do not want to keep the traders yet. Natural gas, okay. If you these are, take those out. Those are the old buys. You're getting sell set up. If you took the first sell, you probably want to close it and then take the profit off and go for this one. Go for this one. And watch it when it comes back to this level. There's a good trade down. It might do this, back down. And then we'll see if it's more up or if it's more down. If they break out or if they go back up. Did we break the top? Not as yet, so it could probably still go one more up. You might get a consolidation here and more up. Do we have sell setups there? Very short term. I'll be very careful of any sells. There are flags for sells, very short term. This is a better buy setup because this is still at the bottom here. This comes a little more here and then upside. This is a better buy setup, and S&P 500 has a better buy setup because we haven't broken the top as yet. So these consolidations here could go up. DAX broke out and you're getting another setup for a buy again. DAX was a buy all the time from this point, and you're getting another buy setup here because this correction was clearly upside. It wasn't like the S&P 500 and those where we had a big running flat in the bottom. We don't have any running flat here. Aussie 200, we broke the top. So if you get sell set up here, you can take it. See, the difference with this is we broke that top. So if we get a sell set up here, we get a confirmed sell setup. That was a sell. And if you get another sell setup here, you can sell this. You can sell this very easily with high probability for the downside rather than the others. The others might come down, but you have to be careful. This is the one you want to come down on because it broke the top. If it consolidated there to go up, don't worry, you'll buy, but that will take a while. Nifty, you might get some consolidation here and you might get a continuation higher, and we'll see. We might be looking, this might be a running flat of its own. Not, you don't have any big correction, but it's very slow, or you'll get a running flat in the future. We'll see. Tesla, it's pulling back. So if you get consolidation here, this would be a good buy setup. Can it come back and retest the low? It could, but then we're going to have a much, much more complex pattern in the making, which means this correction is going to go on longer. If this comes back low, you'll have a much bigger correction forming. But if you get the upside, that would be great. They're making a flag for a sell. Might be worth giving it a try, but it could be short term, which means that it could just drop like this and then go back up. Amazon, coming back down, right? So like I said, even if they break that up once more, it cannot be the impulse going up. So we will still get this move down. From here or from here, we'll see. I will leave these arrows here. So eventually we will see if the patterns complete themselves, right? If the patterns play out the way we expect them to play out. So we're expecting this to come back at least to this area somewhere here. We can either make a combination of this is 1, right? That is 1, 2, 3. This now could be 1, 2, 3. It might be an equivalent to that. And if that is the case, we are coming down for this one, which would be somewhere around here. That means we go back up, come back down, and go to structurally, it's not changing as yet. So let's see. Let's just wait and see. I'll leave it as it is. And if you get sell set up here, sell it. If you get a flag for a sell, it's a good sell. Sell, this is a sell. I think this is, we wanted some more up, so stay away from it for now. We wanted some more up. Why am I in the, I'm in the 1 over? Where is all this? Is all the chart? Something is missing in this chart. Something is missing in that one. Let me take it off. We'll put a new one on back. Let's go. Okay, let's go to this one. BA Finance. It's a buy. So it's going up. Remember when this was coming down here, we said let it break the low. You're looking at this whole big flat. You're getting a buy setup here and it's going already. Be careful, a running flat might form. You can take the trade if you took this trade, it's okay, but be careful, a running flat might form here. All right, so you move your stops and you wait for the possibility of a running flat. Reliance. I think this might be more consolidation. I don't see them going back to the top. There's no need to, but like I explained in the room yesterday, if we look at the fact that they have a 1, 2, 3 here and a 1, 2, 3 here, if this goes back, it's going to be more of a 1, 2, 3 method to the top. And Bitcoin. 1 second, guys. I'm about to finish just the Bitcoin remaining, but give me 1 minute. I have to go get the door. I'm alone at home, so this part of I'll mute myself for a second. Be right back. Recording. Let's go. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to pause for a second. Let's go. So Bitcoin is going back up. We haven't come down to the low here as yet. I don't think this is an equivalent of this. So if we go back and break the top, all we're going to have is a more complex pattern making, which means we might still come back here. So if you get any buys set up and you're taking buys in this area, if you're taking any buys here or so, just be careful, right? Because not breaking this low means there's a high probability, not even breaking the low, they should have at least come back to about this area here, right? That would show an equivalent of the two impulses. We don't have that. This whole thing could be a much bigger correction before you get that. So if you're buying anything in this area here, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's not like it's already at the top. You're not missing anything if you didn't buy Bitcoin, right? This thing, the buys was from the low, wasn't from the bottom, right? Not from the top here. You're not missing. If you jump in the top, you might end up regretting you did, right? So better to wait and see that you have a confirmed pattern that says it's going to go up. This pattern is not confirming upside as yet. So I'll be careful of buys. But if you're buying short term, if you're trading in the short term and you're buying, just take the profit off. Buy this one, take the profit because it could drop anytime from here. Drop at least back to this level before it goes. XRP. Okay, go back to the 1 hour. You're getting a 1 hour flag, which is perfect. This is exactly what you want. And it might take a while more. Like I said, they might consolidate here some more. But this is a perfect sell setup. And we might get this 10 area. We might get that 10 for a buy because in that area you would want to buy because that would be upside. I don't think it's going to happen so soon because this might go on for a long while. So you can actually get short-term buy here. I spoke about that. If you want short-term buys, you see they will pull back. They make a spike, take the profit. It's going to come back down. Make another buy, spike, take the profit. It's going to come back down. If that profit range is tradable, because sometimes it's not tradable. You buy it and the spread will take away all the money. Then ETH, this is going up. And you can buy some more here, but be careful again. You have to be careful with this buy because I think we just broke the top here. We broke that top. It can go. They can stretch it. I mean, it can stretch a while before it come back, but it will come back. And if you don't think it's going to work, remember Bitcoin the first time. When they start to stretch it, I said, you want to make sure that if you take a trade, you take off your profit. At least when it become 18,000, 19,000, 20,000, that's where you have to be careful. So this is going up. You can buy. I would buy if you buy the consolidation. It goes. Stop, take profit, wait for another consolidation. That way, you wouldn't be the last person in the trade when it starts to drop. LTC, this is literally going sideways. I can see this coming back to about this area here. And then downside. I don't see this going up, which means we'll have to treat this as a contracting flat, and I don't think it is. But you can buy. If you're lucky, it's going to go up, right? At least when it comes to this area, you can put it to break even. So that's about it. I think I've completed all. What I'm going to do is probably restructure these webinars because they're very long. So maybe for the week, I'm going to do 3 webinars, one on only Forex, one on cryptos, probably add a few more cryptos for you guys. So if you're watching this and you trade cryptos and you would like to have those, send me direct messages on Skype. So I can add probably 3 more, make it about 10 cryptos, a very short webinar with about 10 of the popular ones. The ones that I get more requests for are the ones that I'll put. So We can do about 10 of them. And then we can put all the stocks and the metals and all of that in another. Well, not metals. We'll keep gold and silver with Forex. So we can do all the stocks and the indexes in another short. So there will be 2 very short video and 1 not so short. So each should be within 30, 40 minutes. And I will put them out 3 for the week. So they will come out at different times, right? One will probably come out at Sunday, one on Tuesday, and one on Thursday. They will be for the whole week, right? I'll give you the short-term and the long-term analysis. Or maybe I'll try to see if I can do 2 on Sunday and 1 on Tuesday, something like that. So for this will be for YouTube in the future going on, right? At least 1 a week I'll give you guys, and we'll see where we go from there. Hopefully you like the analysis. Hopefully it's helping you. The main thing is that it's helping you to at least understand how the charts are moving when it's getting confusing to you. We're trying to make it possible so you can understand why the confusion is on your side. If you watch this today, please like, share, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye.